Hey guys, I wanted to show you a picture of what your paper should look like. You're just looking at this part right here where it says dry crystals, crystal and water before stirring, stirred solution of water and crystals, and the solution and the foil. Remember, you should be writing 3 things in each step. I'm going to also take the temperature that you're going to write down, and I wanted to also show you my lab setup. So here I have my water to pour in just a minute. I have my piece of aluminum foil I'm going to crumple. I have a stirring rod to stir the solution. I have my copper 2 chloride crystals that I'll give you a close-up of in just a minute, and then a thermometer. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to record some observations about the dry crystals. So if you need to pause the video here, do that so you can kind of see what they look like. But this is just the dry crystals. I haven't added anything to it. It's just the copper 2 chloride crystals. So if you need to pause the video, do that so you can write down 3 observations. Remember, it has to be things you can actually see. Okay, so now I'm going to add some water, and I'm not going to stir, and you're gonna write down some observations there. So I'm gonna just add the water, and I'm not gonna stir anything. I'm just gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna bring it closer so you can write some observations. If you need to pause the video, please do, but this is me not stirring. This is just the crystals and the water, okay? And this is in real time. I'm not editing the video or anything like that, but this is the crystals and the water before me stirring anything. Remember, you can always pause the video. So now I'm going to go ahead and stir them, and then I'm going to take the temperature before we add the foil. So you can see that I'm just stirring the crystals to make sure they dissolve. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, so this is the solution after I stirred the water and the crystals together. So you might want to pause here to record your observations again. You need 3 observations, and I'm about to take the temperature that we're going to write down before I add the aluminum foil. So I'm going to put that to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the thermometer and let it finish taking the temperature, and then I'll tell you what to record. I know you can't see it very well, but I promise I'm going to read it to you. Okay, we're gonna say that the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, and you can kind of see back right there. It is right about 25 degrees Celsius. So that's what you're gonna put in the blank here where it says initial temp under step number 3 after we stirred the water and the crystals. The initial temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, so now I'm going to throw in the aluminum foil. I'm gonna crumble it up into a ball, and then I'm gonna use the stirring rod to force it kind of inside, and it'll take a minute or 2 for you to see kind of what happens, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in there, and then after it's done, I'm gonna take the temperature again. So let me get it going, and then I'll show you what's happening. See if I can get a pretty good angle right here. So all I'm doing is sticking the aluminum foil in the solution. Make sure you're writing down observations in real time. I definitely see lots of bubbles, and there's some other stuff happening. So make sure you're writing down what's happening. Again, this is in real time. I'm not editing this. There's no trickery. This is just aluminum foil in this solution. Make sure you're writing down all observations. I'm trying to get y'all close so you can see. So you kind of see this like brownish red stuff. Let it keep going. See if I can get another angle over this way. The glass is getting foggy. You'll see why in a minute when I show you the temperature. Make sure you're writing down all observations, anything that you see happening. All I did was put aluminum foil in that solution. Okay, so for sake of time, I know it's not quite done, but you can kind of tell what's happening. It has that reddish brown stuff on there. I know that you're thinking, oh my gosh, the aluminum rusted. It's not rust, it actually formed copper. Because we pulled the copper out of the solution. You can see that the solution is no longer the same color. But that stuff on the aluminum is not rust. Aluminum does not rust to that color like iron. This is copper that we just made, like copper in your pennies and in wires and stuff. Obviously, we can't use it. It's not useful because it's in a solution right now, but I want to go ahead and give you the temperature. The temperature is 39 degrees Celsius. Let me see if I can get an up close. Yeah, you can see it's just before 40 degrees. So 39 is where you're gonna write your final temperature right here. 39 degrees Celsius is your final temperature. And then you can answer the questions after you write down all these observations on the next page. So I hope you enjoyed that lab. Sorry you guys can't do it. You can thank COVID for that, but kind of a little cool reaction other than just boring old videos listening to me.